All my dear students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. How are you all? I had posted the answers of the chemistry assessment in yesterday. I hope you have checked your chemistry test honestly and tallied the answers posted to you. Today I am posting the answers of the biology assessment, so correct your biology test sincerely and see how you perform in it. Today I am starting lesson number 3 in biology. Reproduction in animals. What is reproduction? I have already taught you in the last chapter what does reproduction mean. That is producing the same one of its own kind, be it animals or plants. The process are two, that is asexual and sexual both. So what is reproduction? I am revising once again. Reproduction is the process by which new individuals are produced by the parents. The process of reproduction ensures that the plant or animal species does not disappear from earth. That means for the continuity of a particular race on this planet, the process of reproduction is essential. Without this process, the race, that particular species, will diminish from the planet, as many of the species have already become extinct from this planet, right? So this process is very important in maintaining a stability in the ecosystem and for the continuation of life on earth. Is it clear? So there are two modes of reproduction in animals, asexual and sexual. So what does asexual reproduction means? That is, the offsprings are produced by a single parent. There is no involvement of any reproductive cells, that is, no sperm and egg are needed, that is, male and female parent are not needed. Whereas in sexual reproduction, the involvement of both male and female parent is important, since it takes place with the fusion of two cells, one from a male and the other from a female. These cells are also known as gametes. Is it clear? So the asexual reproduction in animals takes place by fission, budding and regeneration. Now what does the term fission means? This term means splitting or breaking, that is, breaking up into parts, and this type of reproduction is common in unicellular organisms. What are unicellular organisms? That is, single cell organisms. You have studied about amoeba, which is a single cell animal. You have other examples as well. We have Paramecium, Euglena, all are single cell animals. Now in fission, what happens? That the parent organism, this is the parent organism, this splits up into two new daughter cells. That is, the nucleus also divides along with the along with the body of the parent, and the constriction occurs in between, which later on results in the separation of the two cells, which are known as the daughter cells. So these are the two new daughter cells in amoeba. So this is the whole process. That is, amoeba grows to a maximum size and then its nucleus elongates. It increases in length and divides into two parts. After that, what happens? The cytoplasm, that is the fluid that is present inside the cell, divides into two parts around each nucleus. Is it clear? In this way, a single amoeba divides to form the two daughter amoebae. You can see there are two daughter amoebae, and each daughter amoeba grows to become a separate individual. Now we have another kind of fission which is not given in your books, that is the multiple fission. Now this is a type of fission which occurs in certain organisms like Plasmodium, right? This is the diagram showing the multiple fission where the parent body, it takes place in organisms like Plasmodium, and here the parent body gets surrounded by a layer, thick layer, which is known as a cyst. But this takes place later on. But what happens first, under unfavorable condition, the nucleus starts dividing into many cells, right? And similar divisions takes place in the cytoplasm as well, and this generally takes place under unfavorable condition when there is scarcity of food, water, or temperatures are unfavorable. Then the body surrounds itself with a thick layer which is known as organism's body, which is known as the cyst. And these are the division of the nuclei. There's one nucleus has divided to form so many nuclei which are surrounded by the cyst. And when the favorable conditions approach, what happens? The cyst breaks. Favorable condition means the abundance of food and water and favorable temperatures. Then this cyst breaks, and these cells, which are known as the daughter cells, they are released, and this is how this particular organism reproduces, that is the Plasmodium. Next process is budding. Now this diagram you can show, you can see the process of budding. What is budding? This takes place in the organisms like Hydra. So what happens that a small outgrowth called a bud grows on the body of the parent body, that is in this case it is the body of the parent Hydra. First appears in the form of a small protuberance, which you can call a bulb or a bud, and this grows into a whole bud, and this keeps on growing, and the nucleus of the parent also divides into two halves. One half passes into the bud and other remains in the parent, and this bud grows gradually to form a small Hydra. You can see this, how the small Hydra has grown, and then a time comes when this tiny Hydra detaches or gets separate from the parent body and become a independent Hydra. Is it clear? So the process in which a bud forms on the outside of the body, grows and then detaches to become a new organism, this is called as budding. Is it clear? Next process is regeneration. Regeneration means to generate again or to regrow. You must have seen the tail of the lizard regrowing. When once it is broken, it regrows again. So it is one of the process. It is one of the it is by the process of regeneration only. So this process of generating lost parts of the body is regeneration. So this ability of the animals is used for reproductive processes by some animals, for example like Hydra and Planaria. You can see the two examples, Hydra and Planaria. And this ability of a detached part to grow into a complete new individual is called regeneration. So here you can see both in Hydra and in Planaria that in the case of Hydra has been cut into two pieces, and each piece has regrown into two new individuals. Similarly you can see in Planaria it can take place both the ways, longitudinally as well as transversely. So both are shown over here. So when the body of the Planaria has divided into, or it has been cut into three parts, each cut part has regrown to form a new individual Planaria. You can see in both the cases. Is it clear? So this is how the process of regeneration takes place in animals. So let's revise once again that the process of fission, that is what happens in binary fission. The parent organism splits to form two new daughter cells. The budding process, that is in which a bud forms on the outside of the body, which grows and later gets detached from the parent body and grows to form a new individual. And last one, that is the ability of the detached part to grow into a complete individual, is called regeneration, and that is the number of cut parts. Each piece grows the lost part, whichever part is lost, it grows that part and develops into a new individual. This is how the process of asexual reproduction takes place in animals. And let's discuss exercise. So tick the correct options. Animals do not reproduce asexually by fission, budding, regeneration and propagation. I've just told you they reproduce through three processes, and propagation is not the process by which the animals reproduce asexually. It is a process of reproduction, asexual reproduction in plants. So this is the answer. Next is, which of the following does not reproduce asexually? Hydra, planaria, amoeba and humans. Hydra, I told you, it reproduces both by regeneration as well as by the process of budding. Planaria by the process of regeneration, amoeba by the process of binary fission, and humans are not the organisms, they are not the living organism which reproduce asexually. They just reproduce by sexual reproduction. Is it clear? In which of the following modes of reproduction does the parent cell split to form two new daughter cells? It is fission, binary fission, budding or regeneration. It is by binary fission, right? This binary fission. Regeneration helps an organism to reproduce, grow lost body parts, both of these and none of these. I've just told you that in certain organism it is a means of growing the lost parts, for example in lizards or in certain other reptiles, whereas for organism like Hydra and Planaria it is a mode of reproduction. So both of these, that is answer C, is the correct answer. And match the column A with column B. Binary fission, that is, it is a process of reproduction, asexual reproduction in amoeba and euglena. Euglena is another unicellular organism. Then budding is a process of reproduction in Hydra, and regeneration is a mode of reproduction both in Hydra and Planaria. So I end up my lecture today. We'll proceed with the sexual reproduction in the next lecture, inshallah. Allah Hafiz.